We all spend so much of our lives talking, right? But think about it. How many of those conversations actually go somewhere meaningful? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a professional blueprint for turning any discussion, whether you're in a big meeting at work or just sitting in your living room, into a powerful tool for getting things done. It's a super simple framework that makes sure your most important conversations have a clear, powerful destination.
You know this feeling, right? You're talking with a colleague about a project, or maybe with your partner about your future. Heck, you could just be trying to figure out a problem by yourself. And then, an hour later, you're right back where you started. You've talked a lot, but you have zero forward momentum. It is so frustrating, a total waste of energy, and it happens all the time. But what if it didn't have to?
So, what's really going on here? Well, at the heart of all that frustration is what I call the aimless conversation problem. It's what happens when we dive headfirst into a discussion without any kind of map. See, without a clear structure or a defined endpoint, even the most critical conversations get completely derailed by tangents, they get bogged down in tiny details, and pretty soon we mistake the simple motion of talking for the actual progress of solving something. But there's a solution, and it comes from the pros. People who have mastered the art of conversation for a living. Executive coaches. They use this very specific framework to build a roadmap before a discussion even really gets going. It's how they turn a potentially pointless chat into a focused, productive session. And honestly, it's their secret weapon for creating clarity and driving action, and it's something any of us can learn to use.
This secret blueprint is called the coaching agreement. Now, don't let the name fool you. It's not some formal, stuffy contract you have to sign. Just think of it more like a verbal handshake at the very beginning of a talk. You're just agreeing on three simple things. What are we actually here to do? What do we want to achieve? And how will we know if we've succeeded? This simple agreement, right up front, is the foundation for a truly great conversation.
Let's really break that down. A coaching agreement is all about getting on the same page. It's a shared understanding of the topic, what you want to walk away with, and how you'll measure success. It is the huge difference between saying, hey, let's talk about the project, and saying, okay, let's use the next 30 minutes to decide on the top 2 priorities for the launch so we can walk away with clear action items. See the difference? One is a vague invitation to just wander around, and the other is a clear mission.
And here's the best part. Building this agreement isn't magic. It doesn't rely on some special talent you have to be born with. It really just comes down to a few fundamental communication skills. It's all about being intentional. The whole goal is to partner up with the other person to create a clear plan from the very start. You're turning what could be conversational chaos into an engine for clarity. So how do we actually do that?
Well, this whole process really breaks down into 3 key steps. Step 1, create clarity and depth. This is about going beyond the surface-level topic to figure out what's really at stake for the other person. Second, and this one is absolutely crucial, you define the success metrics. What does a win for this conversation actually look like, feel like? And third, you listen to the other person's priorities. This isn't about you setting the agenda, it's about helping them navigate theirs. You're the guide on this journey, not the hero.
Okay, I really want to zoom in on that second step, defining success, because honestly, it's the most transformative part of this whole thing. It is the linchpin. I mean, think about it. Without a clear destination, you can't have a direct path, right? This is the step that provides the focus, the energy, and the entire purpose for the conversation that's about to happen.
So how do you do it? Well, coaches use this one, deceptively simple but incredibly powerful question. They ask, if this conversation were to be incredibly productive and successful for you, what would have happened by the end of it? Just let that sink in for a moment. It doesn't ask, what do you want to talk about? It asks, what do you want to achieve? That question forces a huge mental shift from just a passive topic to an active, tangible outcome.
The power of that one question is that it completely transforms a vague topic like, I'm feeling so stuck in my career, into a tangible goal. A vague topic is like a swamp. You're just stuck in the mud, going nowhere. But a tangible goal, like, by the end of this conversation, I want to have a written list of 3 concrete actions I can take this week to explore a new path. Well, that's a ladder. That question helps you build the ladder, one rung at a time, straight toward clarity.
Okay, so you've done it. You've set a clear destination. The coaching agreement is in place. But hold on. The journey has just begun. Conversations are living, breathing things. They can easily wander off course. So your next job is to act as a guide, constantly and gently steering the discussion back to that path that you both agreed to at the start.
A really good conversational partner is always navigating.
They're constantly checking in, using that agreement you made as their North Star. They're quietly asking themselves things like, are we still on the right path toward the goal we set? Are we managing our time well, or do we need to refocus? They're checking to see if the discussion is getting too abstract and asking, how can we make this more practical and outcome-focused? And they're always keeping an eye on the target. Is that success metric we define still the right one, or has something even more important come up?
And this really captures the two different realities, doesn't it? On the left, you've got the drifting conversation. You're basically lost at sea. With no clear destination, you just go in circles, which only leads to frustration and burnout. But on the right, with a coaching agreement as your lighthouse, you have a clear goal. The path is direct, the exploration is focused, and the result is real, tangible progress. It's the difference between being adrift and navigating with absolute purpose.
So you might be thinking, this is great for coaches, but what about me? And this is where it gets really exciting. This blueprint isn't some niche professional secret. It is a universal framework that can totally transform your most important conversations, whether you're leading a team at work, talking with your kids, or just trying to get some clarity for yourself.
Just imagine this for a second. Let's say you're a manager starting a one-on-one meeting. Instead of just saying, so how's it going? You ask, for this to be a really valuable 30 minutes for you, what's the most important thing we could resolve or clarify today? Or imagine you're a parent talking to your teenager. Instead of launching into a lecture, you ask, what would a successful conversation about your plans after graduation look like for you right now? It instantly changes the entire dynamic from a potential confrontation into a real collaboration. And this brings us to the final and maybe the most crucial takeaway of all. The real power of this approach is its incredible efficiency. It's all about quality over quantity. A single, structured, goal-oriented conversation built on a clear agreement can create more genuine progress than 10 long, meandering, aimless chats combined. It respects everyone's time, and it focuses all that energy exactly where it matters most.
So I'll leave you with this question. What's one important conversation you have coming up this week that could be completely transformed by using this blueprint? Really think about it. How could just asking that one question, what does success look like for this conversation, change the entire outcome? I'd love to hear your thoughts and ideas, so drop them in the comments below. And hey, if this explainer gave you a new tool for your communication toolkit, do me a favor and hit that like button, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss what we break down next. Thanks for watching.